Hello everyone, welcome back to our Raw Power Yoga. So I just wanted to take a moment to thank you so much for being a part of this yoga family since I started doing these videos with Marilee, and it's been a lot of fun actually. We've really enjoyed ourselves, and I hope that you've enjoyed yourself as well. Tonight's class is on the house, so if you've never tried my yoga, welcome to my yoga, our yoga together. And I say my yoga just because it's my creation of choreography that I do, and it's a little different than any other yoga that you've done. So I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm usually the shot of tequila. I'm gonna try and reel that back tonight. But the thing is if you like my style, you really like my style, and if you don't, you really don't. And that's cool. But this class tonight is for everybody out there who wants to give me a chance. And give Marilee a chance too. Not that she needs a chance because she's just already the star here, but I'm really happy that you're here with us tonight. And tonight's class is going to be a level 1-2, so we're going to kind of ease into it, maybe step it up a little bit, have a little bit of fun. I do have other classes that are level 2, 3, and 3, 4. So, you know, kind of get in there and check it out and see if you like it, and do little parts here and there. You can do 20 minutes of a class and then come back to it later. That's the beauty of this online video series, is that you can do it at your own pace, work up to it at your own pace. And I'll continue to be making little video clips, just breaking down the poses so that you can kind of get a feel for what each individual pose is like, so that you can get into the full form and the safety of it as well. But I usually like to flow during the classes. So I do show modifications, but I like to flow, and so if you need to hit the pause button, it's there for you. So we're going to start tonight with a classic child's pose. So I'd like you to come to the back of your mat, please, and bring your knees out just as wide as it feels good for your hips. So if you're not warm, they might be kind of close together. If you have open hips, take it out as far as you can go, just so we can start to breathe some ujjayi breath into them. We're going to relax through the toes, and we're going to relax through the upper body even. So if you wanted to drape your elbows around your knees, that's a place that some people like. If you want to cross your arms and drop your forehead onto your forearms, that's a place that some people like for their neck. So this is very individual. The whole class is individual. I'm just here to guide you. I'm not here to tell you, to do it exactly this way and only this way. There's so many ways that you can flow through a practice. We're finding what's feeling good for you tonight. Ujjayi breathing, we're going to close your mouth and we're going to breathe through the glottis. That's that little horseshoe shape, the back of the throat. So that breathing, building up some internal heat, opening up, expanding through the rib cage. It's also a real gift to take full inhales and exhales, and you don't even realize it until you actually take full inhales and exhales, and then you're like, wow, shallow breathing all day long doesn't feel amazing, and as soon as you start to fill the lungs up, you realize that it just feels great. We're going to reach the arms out towards the front wall. So here's where we're going to create a little bit of length through the shoulders. The palms are nice and flat. The knuckles are going to press down into the floor, into your mat. I do recommend that you get a good mat. I personally am not sponsored by Manduka, but I love a Manduka mat because it's really nice and grippy. But I have videos showing you what to do if your mat isn't that grippy and you have a grippy towel over it. So that's up on the series as well. We're going to take the whole upper body over to the left side. So let's just go ahead and walk your torso, just your torso. Lower body is going to stay exactly where it is, and you're going to reach out as far as you want to the left. And what I like to do is I like to use my palms as the leverage, and then I kind of inch up through my fingertips so that I can feel the pull along the forearms, along the shoulders. And then I just let my chest and my head drop down, my neck is relaxed. And while I'm there, I send out a little search party. In all of my poses, I'm just kind of sending out like, oh, I took 2 breaths. Maybe I have a little bit of something. Maybe I have a little bit more. We're going to lift up and take that over to the right side. So as you bring your torso to the right, before you drop down, as you reach, find a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, go ahead and crawl out and feel your way through and create your elongation. Create what's inside of your triceps, what's inside of your low back. And then we'll slowly come back center, and we're gonna open up into a long downward facing dog. So we're gonna walk your fingertips up to the front of your mat, and we'll just look up at your fingertips right now and focus on separating your fingers as far away from each other as you can, and bringing your middle fingers in a straight line with your shoulders. So we're just gonna focus on a little bit of good alignment. This is where you're gonna have your strongest foundation. And then let your head drop down and look at your toes and separate your feet so that they're just as wide as your hips. So your feet are in line with your hips, and what I'd like you to do is get as long as you need to on your mat where your heels are naturally lifted off the floor. So we're not walking your feet up so much that your heels are in your mat, because you're already that long. We're looking for just creating a little bit of length while we're here. And then what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to turn your elbows towards the back wall. So you're just going to take your triceps and engage them and find that turn, so that it takes a little bit of asking the shoulders to do all the work while you're here in your downward facing dog. And we're going to create some length. So as we extend up through the low back, I want you to drive your sit bones, those are your butt bones, kind of some energy up towards the back wall, towards the sky, just so that you can open up. So we're breathing into the hamstrings, we're breathing into the glutes. The glutes are your butt cheeks. We're elongating and lengthening through your calves right now, through your Achilles. And then we're just gonna take a couple of heel lifts. So when you breathe in, lift up onto the balls of your feet, your heels as high as they'll go. And as you exhale, just relax them down. And let your forehead drop down a little bit. And then find that breath in. So take the lift up, squeeze through the calves. And as you exhale, let it chill down. Keep that energy through the seat. And one more time, let's breathe in, we'll take it up nice and high. And on the exhale, relax it down, let's stay right here. And then we're gonna bend one knee at a time, and we're just gonna walk out a little bit through the hips. So the hips like to come side to side. I like to kind of exaggerate through mine and just kind of push one hip over to the side. It just feels good inside to open up with exaggeration sometimes. And then we'll go ahead and straighten the legs. And we're gonna bring your right fingertips up in between your shoulder blades, and we'll let your right elbow shine down towards the floor. And that's just gonna challenge the core as we try to balance, right? The body weight's gonna shift a little bit over to your right. And we're just gonna keep the fingertips in between the shoulder blades and let the head drop down. Yeah, and breathe into that left arm, doing a little more work. And then we'll switch sides. Left fingertips coming up, left elbow shining down. We're still opening up through the armpits. We're still lengthening through the low back. And then we'll drop that left palm into the floor. And then go ahead and walk your fingertips as far up as you can. Let your dog get longer. Yeah, we'll breathe right here into your longest dog for 5, 4, 3, 2. And then we're gonna shift into a high plank. So that means we're gonna bring our shoulders and our wrists in a nice line with each other. I want you to engage again through those triceps by turning your elbows to the wall behind you. So Marilee's got really nice form. Her shoulders, elbows, and wrists are in line with each other. She's on an angle from her shoulders to her hips, down through the knees, and into the ankles. If you're modifying, knees are gonna be on the floor. This guy's not changing. So we're gonna keep the pelvis tucked. We're gonna keep the belly button tucked up a little bit. And if you're feeling stronger, I want you to keep those knees lifted so that you turn on the quads and make your abdominals do more work. We're driving the chest away from the floor. We're breathing full, long, deep breaths. We're engaged through the glutes as well, so I want you to squeeze your butt cheeks, keep your thighs on. Everything is on in a plank position. So that's why it's such an excellent pose, is because you're just getting stronger right here. So if you're new to the practice, keep those knees in the floor, and still we're pushing the chest away from the floor right here. And let's give it another 5 seconds. We'll keep breathing for 3, for 2, and then very slowly bring the knees to the floor, keep the hips flat. We're gonna find our first modified chaturanga. So what I'd like you to do is slowly start to lower down until your shoulders can come into a line with your elbows. So this is a very challenging pose. Marily's really strong upper body. So push yourself back up, Mary. So if that's a really challenged one for you, then as you lower down, go ahead and start to lower down. I want you to bring your pelvis to the floor, and now bring your shoulders in line with your elbows. So I don't want you to bring your shoulders to the floor. I want you to keep those guys up. So your pelvis can relax. For 5-4, if you're up, you can be in a regular chaturanga, so it's totally up to you. It's feeling good. I mean, a modified. Toes stay on the floor. For 4-3, now lower your chest down to the floor, slide your palms back. We're just gonna find a cobra right now. So all I want you to do is slide your palms back as far back as they'll go alongside of your rib cage, and then we're gonna peel up just enough so that you can feel the length from your pelvis to your ribs. So just a little lift. Here we are in a cobra position, and please look down at the floor so that we're squeezing the glutes so that you're not straining in the neck. We're gonna lower the chest down. We'll slide the palms back a little more, bring the shoulders away from the ears, and then you can do that again, find a little lift up. So we're just lengthening from the top of your rib cage down into your pelvis. Let's lower that down. We're gonna slide the palms back just a little bit more. So if you have a little more in you, slide it back. And then we're gonna come up into a modified up dog. So we're gonna straighten the arms. We're pulling the shoulder blades together. We're keeping the lower body nice and tight. And then I want you to bring your right shoulder forward and bring your chin to drop towards the left. And we're just gonna breathe here. So mouth is closed, we're in Ujjayi. We're pushing away from the floor. So the upper body's staying strong. The lower body, we're squeezing that, staying strong. Bring your left shoulder forward. Let your chin drop to the right. So if this is too much on your back, you can always push your seat back. And then you could take it side to side. So if it feels good on your back, keep it where it is. We're just bringing one shoulder forward at a time. And then we're gonna come center with the chin. You're gonna press from your knees onto the balls of your feet and into your downward facing dog. So let yourself get nice and long. Drive the seat high, very nice. And then we're gonna walk your hands back to your feet. So you could be up on your fingertips, you can be down on your palms. We're just trying to find a little length here, and we're gonna roll one vertebrae at a time up to standing, coming up nice and slow, shrug the shoulders and roll them back. So just a few of those at your own pace. Then we're gonna extend the arms out long, and we're gonna bring your wrists higher than your shoulders, a lot higher than your shoulders. And we're just gonna take straight leg kicks. So you can breathe out of your mouth on this one. We're just going into straight leg kicks, where it feels this, you feel the stretch in the hamstrings, and you're striving. You want to keep your hands up so high that you can't touch them. So you just keep striving to get those legs up. We're just moving a little bit. Yeah. Excellent. Take it up high. Let's find 4 more for 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll bring the hands on the hips. So hips are like headlights. We're gonna shine them out in front of you. And then go ahead and drive your left thigh up into your chest. So on this one, if you're balance challenged, I want you to make sure you're really in your dristi. So that means you're looking at one thing that's not moving. That's gonna help you with your balance. And remember, if you're really balance challenged, who cares if you're tapping your foot down a few times? That's fine. You can keep your foot right here. Marily's gonna lift hers higher. Find a deep breath in. As you exhale, you're gonna pour your hips forward like a bucket. So if you need to keep your left toes down, that's fine. And then you're gonna challenge yourself to take that left leg back behind you. And then I want you to feel your hips. So I want you to feel with your hands on your hips turn down like headlights. So that left hip, kind of manually shift it down. Yeah. And this back leg has energy. We're flexing the toes in towards the kneecap. We're lifting the leg up. Feel your left butt cheek. Do the work to find lift right here. So you can press 2 palms onto your low back with your fingertips facing up or down, and you can stay here in this pose. This is a really nice place to stay. And if you feel like you can open yourself up. Then we'll point the toes to the back wall, and we'll extend the arms out into airplane wings. So the arms come out 45 degrees to the side, the middle fingers will reach into the back wall. We're gonna lift that back leg up. We're gonna lift the front of the shoulders as if you were an up dog. We're gonna pull the shoulder blades together for 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's stand tall with your feet as wide as your hips. Reach your arms up to the sky. Interlace your fingers overhead. We'll find an inhale, and as you exhale, let's reach right. Come to the right side, stretch it over. Get long out of the left rib cage. Breath is flowing. And then we'll come back center. Breathe in as you exhale. Take it over. And then we'll come back center. Separate the hands. Find a deep breath in. As you exhale, fold forward and walk yourself into a long downward facing dog. We're going to stretch your right leg up to the sky. We'll bend that right knee and roll open through your right hip. So we're going to take your heel and push it to the side wall. We're keeping the toes tucked in. We'll find length through that right quad. So this is a really nice way to start to breathe into the hips that we're getting warm. I want you to make sure it's active. So a lot of people have a lazy foot where the foot's just kind of hanging out and the leg's just kind of hanging here and they're just kind of like here. I want you to really get in, and feel, right? Every single pose has a purpose. So when you bring the purpose into it, your whole practice changes. So think about really, why am I here? What am I trying to feel? What am I thinking about right now? Get that mind-body connection. Stay with me, stay with yourself inside of your body. Drop that right foot to the floor. Left leg's gonna get high. First, we'll guide the heel in towards your back. We're gonna flex the toes in towards your kneecap. She's already there. We're gonna roll open, and then we're gonna press and think about, push strong against your palms. Think about, where can I feel this? Where can I feel a little bit more? This feels really nice. We'll drop that foot down to the floor, and we're gonna walk your fingertips up to the front of your mat. I want you to have a really long dog on this one, just so that you can exaggerate through your space. We're gonna take little baby steps with your feet. Try not to bend your knees as much so that you can feel the stretch in the back of the legs. There's a theme here. We're getting inside the hamstrings. We're coming all the way up. Feet are as wide as the hips. Bring your palms onto your legs where you need to. So it could be up on your thighs or on your shins, that when you lift, you have a long spine. So every body is different. So your hands aren't going to be exactly where Marilee's are, and nobody's hands are going to be exactly where anybody else's is. Let's take a deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to drop your chest into your thighs, wrap your hands behind your legs, and love yourself. Hug and fold it in. We're going to take that lift again. Lengthen the spine, find the inhale. As you exhale, we're going to fold it. We're going to hug in even stronger. Let's do it one more time. Breathe in, create it. As you exhale, feel it. Grab your elbows, we're in ragdoll, out in front of you. We're hanging forward. And if it feels like you want to sway side to side, sometimes when you're folded there, you just feel like, I want to move my back a little bit side to side. I personally feel like, wow, I want to take up some space because that feels so good for my low spine. So whatever's working for you. And then we'll come back center, drop the arms down, and lift your torso up enough so that you're hanging from the floor. So you're looking through your legs, because where your eyes go, the body follows. You're hanging, and you're just loose now. And now you can make big circles with your arms, just kind of moving through your shoulders. So really let it hang forward though, Mare. Don't lift yourself up so that you can get a bigger swing. Just let yourself hang down there and find what you can feel while you're hanging. And you're just taking it both directions. Then we're going to heel toe the feet together. So the insides of your feet are going to touch each other. And we're going to stretch the arms out to touch the side wall. So exaggerate out. Lift up through your breastbone. Reach up to the sky. Lift your thighs and your glutes. We're inhaling all the way up. And on the exhale, we're going to fold forward. And we're going to dive in and feel. So forward fold. It is a pose. Use something to get yourself in there. Halfway lift. Where's your spine? Create the length. Step back into your high plank. High plank position. Last time we were here, we did a modified chaturanga. You can modify all night long tonight. If you're not modifying, you're going to be with us. You're going to be with Marilee. We're going to lower down. Walk your toes forward because you got to move forward. Your head's moving forward towards the front wall, so your joints stacking. You got to get those elbows on top of the wrist. Shoulders are in line with the elbows. I'm going to break this pose down in a single video I think I already have, so check that out. Up dog, 1 foot at a time.
Please don't roll over all of your toes at the same time. It's really important. Marilee's knees are lifted. She's got the strength. She's been doing practice for a long time. Her quads are on. If you're modifying, your knees are in the floor, your quads are still on, your glutes are still on. And then downward facing dog, 1 foot at a time. The seat goes high and the head drops low. That's nice. And then we'll walk your hands back to your toes slowly. Let your heels drop into the floor. Very nice. And then we're going to roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. A few shoulder shrugs. I always like to do those in between just to kind of get underneath the shoulder blades. And then we're going to find some knee grabs. So you're just going to catch a knee, pull it up and in. You can breathe out of the mouth or stay in Ujjayi. It's up to you. So we're going inside the hips. Take that leg and pull it up with you. So I want you to feel inside the hips. We're going to turn the knees out. Turn them out and pull them up towards the shoulders, opening up through the adductors, inside the psoas. Yeah, find that pull for 4, drive it, 3, 2, 1 more, and 1. Toes are forward. We're going to grab the hands on the hips, and we're going to take your right thigh up into your chest. So if you're modifying, your right foot can stay in the floor. Find a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to pour those hips forward. So we're going to keep them like headlights shining down. If you had 2 little lights on your hips, they're going to shine down towards the floor. Feel yourself get into, your low back. And line up your shoulders. So find that alignment, shoulders, shoulders and hips. We're going to flex the toes. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to lift that back leg up with energy. So I want you to use your right glute and lift that leg. So now that's where you're going to get stronger. You can bring your palms to your low back, fingertips up or down, and press on your spine. If you have low back issues, you'll stay right here. If you feel ready, point your toes to the back wall. Now there's extension. So now we're getting long through the top of that foot, and that feels good. It's a stretch. Upper body's going to be an airplane. So 45 degrees, the arms are going to come back. The fingertips are going to reach to the back wall. The front of the shoulders are going to lift a little bit. So it's not that the chest is lifting. It's that we're not rounded forward here, right? We're peeling back so we can breathe into the pecs. So it's just like when we're in up dog. Little up dog, it comes back. We open and feel the stretch through here. Her neck is nice and neutral. Top of the head is shining out. For 5, the arms are going to lift. This is a powerful pose. For 3, for 2, very nice. Let's stand tall. The feet are across from each other. Hip width distance. Arms get high. So keep the hands separated on this one. Right hand's going to grab the left wrist. Let's find an inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to reach over to your right and pull out of that left shoulder. So keep lifting up through your lower body. We'll pull up through the thighs and the butt cheeks are pulling up. Come back center, switch on the grip. Breathe in, lift up. As you exhale, open it, pull, feel. And then we'll come back center. A little bonus stretch. Interlace your fingers behind your back. So as you interlace your fingers, you're going to straighten your arms and just feel that through your biceps. So if it feels good, stretch your arms back. If it doesn't, keep them down here. If you're really tight, use a yoga strap or use a little towel back there so that you can create the space. And then we're just going to find a nice deep breath in. So you'll pull up through your thighs, and as you exhale, push your seat back. So exaggerate through your butt bones. Push your bottom back behind you as you fold forward. Let the top of your head drop. Look through your legs. Arms are just reaching out as far as it's working for your shoulders. If you are flexible in your shoulders, it feels nice to take your arms side to side here. So you can just move, just go as far as the shoulders will let you. So we're not really trying to make the torso force you into a stretch. We're just staying within the limits of your deltoids. So let your arms drop down and walk yourself into a long dog. And then we're going to bend the knees a lot. So bend your knees a lot and load up your legs. When Marilee bends her knees, her upper body doesn't change at all. So straighten your legs again. So think about that. When you're bending your knees, a lot of people move their arms forward. Yeah. So stay out of there. We just want the knees bent and the lower body's loaded. Now I want you to look out in front of you and look where you want your feet to land. We're going to power off the feet and take a light jump. You're landing lightly with your feet together. Very nice. Find the lift halfway. If you need to step up, that's fine too. Forward fold, we're gonna dive in and then stretch the arms out to the side. Come up tall, breathe in high. On the exhale, forward fold. We're down here, diving in. Halfway lift, create the length. So from here, you can bend the knees and jump back, or you can step back into your high plank position. Chaturanga, we're lowering down, keeping those elbows and shoulders in line. Up dog, 1 foot at a time. Let's fill the lungs up and pull the shoulder blades back. Now, if you're feeling a little bit stronger, let's come into 1 foot at a time, back to your chaturanga. Yeah, we'll take a little pause here. And if you weren't feeling it, you're already in downward facing dog. Let's breathe here for 5. Don't shrug the shoulders up by the ears. 4, 3. For 2, down dog, the seat is high, the head drops low. Right leg is gonna come up. Right foot lunges through your hands. Left foot turns sideways. Keep your hands right here. So back foot just took a turn. Right foot, you'll scooch it up if your knee is forward of your ankle. You can scooch that foot through a little bit more. We're gonna come on up into Warrior One, where the arms come out to the side and they reach up tall. And what I like to do is I like to find the energy of turning the pinkies, the little pinkies in towards each other, and then bringing those arms back. So when we're turning the pinkies in towards each other and we're reaching the fingertips up, that's where the power is, right? Where we're finding the life force, so that you're not just here in Warrior One, right? Hanging out and thinking about snacks and whatever. You're like really in the body, feeling it. We're dropped down through that right seat. We're driving the left hip forward. So we're bringing the chest square to the front wall. Yeah, that back leg, we're squeezing. And there's energy coming out of the edge of that foot. So I want you to press the outside of that foot into the floor. And we'll have a little bit of endurance tonight because we're learning the poses. We're staying in them a little longer. So if you're tired, you can straighten the leg and pop out of it. Marily's going to stay in it. But if you need a break, you certainly can just straighten that front leg. Drop your arms down. Roll your shoulders back. There's an opportunity for you to just breathe a moment where you can just kind of stay there. If you're feeling stronger, you're staying in a strong Warrior One. So the thumbs are still coming back, and at this point, maybe the shoulders are a little more open. So maybe you're able to just bring that arm back even more. So think about that. Where are your abdominals? They're turned on, right? So no lazy abs here. The core is staying on as well. We're keeping that right knee stacked on top of your right ankle, and the breath is just your pace. Ujjayi, full inhales and deep exhales. That looks really nice. So now we're going to straighten that front leg, and we're going to turn your right toes in towards your left. So big toes are in a little bit towards each other. Yeah, we're in a wide straddle, and we'll bring the hands to the hips. So in our wide straddle, the reason why we're slightly pigeon-toed is because that protects your knees. So just slightly, just in a little bit. You don't have to turn them all the way in. Just a little bit. We're gripping the toes down. Find a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, just take that hinge again. In half. We're going to fold in half right here. We're going to push back through the seat. So just exaggerate into your glutes and feel the energy of pushing back to open up through your glutes right now. And then we're going to take your right hand and we're going to bring it to your left ankle or somewhere on your left leg. And we're going to bring your left arm in front of your left leg, and we're going to try and catch somewhere on your right leg. So if your left hand doesn't reach your right leg, you can always drop your left fingertips into the floor, and that's a way to just kind of use it as leverage. But I want you to be turning and pulling. Yeah. So Marily's going to grab on and get that deeper stretch. And then we're going to come back center, grab your elbows, and find a sway in your ragdoll. So we're hanging loose. We're just going to move through the low spine and take it slow. So it's nice. Feel one side. Feel the other side. It's just nice and easy. And then we'll take that left hand to your right ankle or your right calf, and then we'll bring your right arm in front of that thigh. See if you can catch your left leg. Find a breath in as you exhale. Pull with both arms. So use both elbows. Let it fold. And guess what? If this doesn't feel good for you at all, if you're in this twist and you don't like it, just stay in your forward fold. So you can stay there. You can work your fingertips into the floor. And then we're going to release that back center, and we're going to pivot into a runner's lunge to the front wall. So your right foot's forward. Widen your stance so that your feet are as wide as your hips and you feel stable. We're coming up into a crescent lunge. So let's come on up right here. So now that lower body's getting strong again, where the right knee stays on top of the ankle, and we're gonna drop down. We're gonna back leg load. So shift your weight back and load up that left leg, and then bring your palms to press to your chest. And we're just gonna keep the upper back nice and tall. We'll find a breath in as you exhale. We're gonna work it over. Edge of the left elbow is gonna find the outside edge of your right knee. So I want you to think about just using a little piece so that you can push off of it to start to turn your torso. We're pressing here. If you're modifying, you'll be with me, drop your left knee. So you can drop that back knee into the floor and take the work, take the load off if you need to take a little break right now. So that's a really nice way to just go into the love of the pose, the loving part of the pose. And then we're gonna open up. So if you're just starting, you'll bring that left hand down and you'll bring it on the inside of your foot. If you've been doing it for a while, you can come to the outside edge. So if you feel like you have more that you want to feel, you can bring it outside. And once you're here, if you want to lift that back leg and try it out, oh, let me see. Yoga's all about just fun, right? It's like, oh, maybe I'll fall over. So what? Who cares? Just kind of get into, oh, let me see if I like this or not. Let me see if my body wants to go there or not. What am I feeling? Close your eyes. Challenge your balance. Reach that right arm overhead. Extend the fingertips long. Breathe into the rib cage. Come on into your high plank. So we're stepping back, and then we're going to find your chaturanga. If you're tired of chaturangas, if you have shoulder issues, just go right into your down dog. Upward facing dog, we're going to breathe in. So that's what I'm saying. You can make this all your own practice, downward facing dog, and still be with us and still have fun and kind of do some of the things and kind of do some of your own things. And then we'll bend the knees and load up the thighs. Step or float your feet up to the front of your mat. Find a lift halfway. We're breathing in. As you exhale, we're going to fold deeper. Now I want you to come into chair pose. So that's a seated squat. Keep your butt down low. Reach your arms up long. Your knees are coming away from your toes. So in your chair pose, I want you to squeeze your thighs together. The insides of your feet are touching. That's part of bringing the heat into the lower body, is squeezing those thighs together. So if you're here and you feel like it's, oh my God, this is a challenge, you know, I'm sweating, I feel uncomfortable, guess what? Lower your arms down, right? Bring your hands to your hips. So a lot of ways that you can just kind of switch it up. What I want you to make sure you're doing is make sure that you can see your toes though. So I don't want your knees coming forward of your toes because that's a lot of pressure on your patellas, and we're not trying to bring pressure into the kneecaps. Awesome. Now, if you want a little challenge, pick up your right foot and drive your right thigh up to the sky if you don't stay in your chair. If you want a little challenge, interlace your hands around your right knee and pick your knee up and pull it into your chest. Yeah, you're going to stay in that single leg seated squat. We're still going for a challenge. Bring your right hand outside of your right foot and your left hand on the inside of your foot. So take your foot, stay here, don't straighten that leg, lift your upper back. So we got to get long in the upper back before we do anything. Yeah, so create that. That's right. So now Marilee knows she started to round in her upper back, so she's holding on to her knee or a little bit lower instead of forcing herself to grab that foot. Now we'll straighten the leg out. So once you get the leg out, you're going to lift it up. So Marilee is using her right hand around that foot. If you have the foot and you want to go ahead and extend it out and hang on to the foot, you can go there, right? We're bending the elbows and we're using the upper body to lift the weight of your leg up. So drive that leg up, drop that seat down, 5-4. This is a big challenge. If you're tired, you can stand up in mountain pose with me. Marilee's going to do the work. For 3, for 2, chair pose, bring the hands to the heart center. Breathe in. As you exhale, bring the edge of your right elbow. We're going to the other side, to the outside edge of your left knee. Once you take that twist, you want to check in with your hips. So are my hips in line with each other? I'll tuck my right hip in a little bit. And a good way to figure that out is, are my kneecaps even? So a lot of times one knee will pop in front of the other first. So just even out the kneecaps. Keep squeezing the thighs. Let's open it up. Right hand drops. Left arm reaches. Maybe you're outside of the foot If you can't reach outside of the foot, I like to bring the fingertips in front of the big toes, shoulder to shoulder. We're open. We're still keeping those kneecaps even. Yeah. We're still squeezing through the thighs. Let the left arm reach overhead. Let your left palm shine to the floor. Roll back through your left rib cage. For 5, 4, 3, where are my knees? 2, so you're always checking in. There's no time to be drifting off into, never, never land. Stay inside the body. Forward fold, we're diving in. That's what's so beautiful about yoga. Halfway lift, we'll breathe in. We're always mind-body connected. Step or jump back to your high plank. So it's taking you to a place where you're just here with yourself on your mat. Chaturanga, we're coming down. Up dog, we'll inhale, pull the shoulder blades together. Chaturanga, here's a bonus. You can stay in chaturanga, you can find child's pose, but a bonus is to lift your right foot up and bring your right knee out to the right side and open through the inner thigh and stay here working through that upper body where we're keeping the shoulders in line with the elbows. Step it back. Left foot lifts just a little bit. Turn the left knee out. Open through the left inner thigh. Yeah, and then find the step back. Up dog. Let's breathe in. Pull the shoulder blades together. Downward facing dog. We'll find the exhale. Let's stay here and breathe. Full deep inhales and exhales in your downward facing dog. Left leg's going to come to the sky. Left foot lunges, right foot turns. Let's stay here with the hands. Hands are going to stay in the floor. We're going to find some energy through the back foot. So I want you to turn on that back leg and push through the edge of your foot so you can feel it press down. So you feel that you're distributing the weight throughout the whole foot here. Arms will touch the sidewall as we come up into warrior one. Yeah, little pinkies are going to turn in towards each other. Thumbs are going to reach back. And we're going to breathe into an opportunity for shoulder mobility. So if you're way far up here and you know that you can take it back there. Yeah, the inhales, we're getting closer to the ceiling with your fingertips. But the exhales, we're dropping your seat down even a little bit lower because we're breathing into the pelvis. So we're opening up the space to breathe. We're peeling back through that right quad. So don't let that left or that right knee buckle in. You want to keep a strong active. We're loaded up through that back leg. Where's your chin? Where's your neck? Stay in tune. Yeah. Where are your abdominals? They're engaged strong. So keep those guys on. Let's keep the breath flowing. Yeah, it looks really nice. So the energy's up. The energy's back a little bit. Not jamming in your low back, right? We're just moving through the shoulders. So this guy's staying relaxed. And this guy is the big house. So your butt cheeks are the big house of the body. They're protecting your low back. If that butt cheek's not turning on, you're putting pressure on your low back. That's why I keep saying glutes, glutes, glutes the whole time. I'll never shut up about it, and it drives people crazy. So now we're going to straighten that left leg. Yeah. So we'll straighten it up. And then we're going to turn the torso, and the big toe turns in. We're in a nice wide straddle here. So let's reach the arms out to the side wall now. Go ahead and open the arms out and then find a deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to take a nice fold forward. And I want you to either grab your ankles or wrap your first 2 fingers around your big toes. So maybe you're going to catch on and hold on to the big toe with your foot down. Or you're grabbing your ankles or your calves and you're just going to fold forward. So you're just going to breathe in into the hamstrings. So every exhale, you're pulling. I know Marilee very well. That's why I just touched her glute like that. But most people wouldn't be touching other people's glutes. Just know that we're very close. So it's all good. We're pushing back through the seat. You're straightening the legs as much as you can. You're working the biceps. So there's no time here for snoozing, right? The arms are working. We're feeling it. Go ahead and walk your hands through your legs so that your fingertips are facing the wall that you can see with your eyes, and then bend your elbows and just keep walking your hands through and work the floor. Now we're working the leverage of the floor. So I want you to imagine that you're bringing your upper body, you want to get it through your legs. Just imagine that. You may never go any further than this, and that's a beautiful thing. But when you imagine that you're doing it, you get a deeper stretch, and that's what we're going for. It's just your depth of your stretch and something that feels good for you. So for 5, 4, let's keep working the floor. 3, 2. Very nice. Let's walk the arms out in down dog. So we're gonna keep your hips and your knees and your ankles in line with each other and just walk your arms out nice and long, just to stretch open through your shoulders. Let your head drop down. So the upper body's in dog. We're pushing back through the seat. And then we're gonna walk the torso to your left. We're gonna pivot the feet until we face the front wall. We're in a runner's lunge first. So when I say pivot, that means get on the ball of your back foot. So your back heel's lifted. We're coming up into your crescent lunge. Let's come on up. Let's bring it up here. Nice. And again, little pinkies turning in, thumbs driving back. Another opportunity to breathe into the shoulders. That's why when we first start the practice and you're here, and then all of a sudden, wow, we really created the opportunity to open through there, right? Left seat's low. If you're modifying, right knee can be to the floor. Hands come to the heart center. Find the inhale. As you exhale, work the edge of the twist. So just a little piece of it. Palms are pressed. And if that back knee is not dropping down, push through that leg. Squeeze through that quad. Feel it through that glute. If it is dropping down, you can let that rest. Don't let this guy rest. We're rolling open through the left rib cage. So stay active somewhere. And again, if you need a break, child's pose is at the back of your mat. That's where we started. You can go there 50 times tonight. There's absolutely a place for you to be throughout the whole practice. So if you're in child's pose, then you'll just pop up and join us, the next moment. Let's open it up. Right hand's gonna drop. Maybe it's inside, maybe it's outside the left foot. Left arm's gonna find the sky. Let's inhale as you exhale. Let it get long. So if I had your wrist, I'm gonna pull. I'm gonna take you and pull you forward. And you're gonna stay with that left seat down and that left knee. Don't let it turn out. So turn that left knee in. Keep it in line with your hips. 5, 4, keep the reach on. 3, 2. Let's find your high plank. Left hand drops, left foot steps back. Chaturanga, we're gonna lower down easy. Here's an opportunity in Chaturanga to march your feet. So that's a bonus right here. If you're taking a break, you'll bring your knees to the floor. So if you're just starting out, you're gonna have your knees in the floor and you're gonna work those shoulders. If you're really tired, you're laying all the way down on the floor with the cheeks to one side. Let's work it out for 5, 4, 3, 2. 2 feet are in the floor, up dog, we'll breathe it in, and downward facing dog, we're gonna find that exhale. In Ujjayi, bend the knees, step or float your feet. We're coming to the front. Find the lift halfway, inhaling. Exhale, we're folding deeper. Chair pose, we're dropping the squat. So it's all about how low can you go, right? Yeah, we're squeezing the thighs together. This is all about smoking the seat, right? Finding the work in the lower body. So I want the insides of your feet touching, your big toes are touching each other, your kneecaps are in line. And we're getting long through the spine. Tuck your pelvis a little bit, yeah, so that you're not finding that posterior tilt. You want to be pushing your butt out, because again, that's bringing pressure on your low back. So find a neutral back. And sometimes, if you're not sure about it, bring one hand onto your low back. You can feel. So if you're posterior, push your butt out, Mare. If you're posterior, pressure here, right? Or, so that's kind of like a cat. A duck is too much, where you're tucking, a scared dog is too much, right? Where you're tucking all the way up, right? You don't want to round it too much. Find that place right in the middle, neutral. We're in chair pose. We're dropping the seat down. We're doing the work. Left thigh gets high. So if you joined us on the other side, great. Maybe you stayed in chair pose. So grab that knee and just hold it and lengthen the back. Yeah. And then, if it's available, you'll catch the foot, but without compromising that back. So I want you to think about not rounding through it. So if you can get it and still keep the chest lifted, that's the goal, then you can straighten it out. So if you can straighten it where you're gonna hang on to the foot and pick it up, go for that. If that's not available, you can be back here. So you can grab your leg back here. If that's not available, you're gonna stay right here. So maybe you're just starting out holding on to the knee. That's amazing, you're in your drishti. So you wanna find something that's not moving. Keep the connection with your gaze. Upper back staying longer. 5, 4. We're dropping deeper. 3, 2. This guy should be tired. Stabilizer. Feet come together. Chair pose, arms reach. Breathe in. As you exhale, hands come to the heart center. Stay here. Even out the kneecaps. Squeeze the thighs. Inhale as you exhale. Edge of the left elbow is going to work the outside edge. So use it. That's your opportunity to create the openness through your right rib cage. And we're going to keep thinking about, are my knees even? Because when my knees are even, then my hips are even. Left hand's going to drop. Maybe you're in front of the big toes. Right arm's going to find the sky. Keep dropping through the seat for 3, for 2. Let that right arm reach overhead. And you're just going to get longer. Let yourself get pulled out. Forward fold. We'll dive in. Stay here. Separate your feet as wide as your hips. And then we're going to take your hands and we're going to slide them under your feet. So you're going to try to cover as much hand as you can. So if you can work your toes up to your wrists, great, or somewhere along the way. And then you're going to straighten your legs and lift your chest away. And then find a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to pull using the leverage. You're going to pull your head through your legs. Use your arms, bend your elbows. Let your brain relax. Close your eyes right here. Eyes are closed, so we're letting go where we can. We're staying strong where we need to. That's through the arms. And I also want you to think, oh, if I could straighten my legs a little more as I pull, then I'm going to get more feel into it, right? So it's all about working the pose while you're in it. Yeah, keep breathing. So don't force your breath on this one, right? The exhales find the pull. Very nice. And then we'll release the hands out. Beautiful. And we'll step back into your high plank. And then we're going to come down onto the forearms. And we'll bring your right fist into your left elbow. We're going to stagger your top foot in front of your bottom. So we're going to stagger the feet, and we're going to keep them staggered. Yeah, and we'll bring your left hand behind your head. And we're going to drive some energy off of your right forearm so that you can lift your right hip away from the floor. And then we'll take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale on a 4-second count, bring your left elbow into your right elbow. Let's twist it for 4, 3, keep that foot there, 2, in front, just
elbow.
staggered.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, and open it up for 4, 3, 2, and then lift that hip. Yeah, and then let's take the twist for 4, 3, 2, twist it in, and let's open it up for 4, 3, 2, very nice. Now we're going to take that right hip and we're going to lower it halfway down to your mat, and then we're going to lift it up with the right side of your obliques, and then we're going to lower it halfway down. If this is too much, you're just holding it, and we're going to lift it up. Beautiful. Now if you feel stronger, stack your feet so your ankles touch each other. We'll flex the toes in. Very nice. And now we're going to lift your left leg up to the sky, nice and high, and lift your right hip with it. And then we're going to find a little lift on the high end right here. Take it up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let the feet meet. Come onto your forearms in a forearm plank position. Very nice. So now we're going to bring the ankles together. So walk your feet in. So this is just some extra core. This is where I say I'm not everybody's cup of tea, so you probably might be remembering that from earlier. We're going to stay right here, or if you want to go a little deeper, we're going to walk your feet back maybe 5, 6 inches until your shoulders get on an angle with your elbows. And once you get them back, I want you to squeeze your ankles together, tuck your belly button up, and then lower your hips down. So we're looking for a little shake here. We're looking for a little quiver. Yeah, and if you know that you can go back a little further, then don't cheat yourself because you're already here, so you're already doing it. Do not cheat yourself. Yeah, for 5, feel the work in it. 4, 3, Mare's working. Little steps until you're back where your shoulders are stacked. Little steps up. We'll walk it up. Yeah, hold it right here. Guess where you can be? You can be in child's pose, and that's a beautiful thing. Marilee cannot be in child's pose because I'm right here with her, and I know she's strong enough to do this one. We're going to take a second round. Let's walk it back. Here we go. Little baby steps. She's probably going to go back another inch from where she was. I could tell that she wants to do that.
Yeah, totally.
We're squeezing the ankles, tucking the hips, lower the butt down. Yeah, tuck the belly button up, Mary. Yeah, tuck it more the other way. Yeah, tuck it up the other way. Yeah, keep tucking it. 5, that's it. That's it. 4, 3, you feel that, right?
Yeah.
2, take the fast walk up. Ah, child's pose. We're gonna chill out. Bring the knees down, separate them nice and wide. Relax, release. Child's pose where we started. Just let it go. Let it go. Love your mat. And then we're going to find downward facing dog. We're going to bring it home here. So we'll take a shift into your high plank. We're going to come down onto your forearms. We're going to turn that left fist in. We're going to stagger your top foot. So feet are staggered apart. We're going to lift that left hip. We're using that left forearm to drive away. Right here. Bring your right fingertips behind your head. Find a deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to turn that right elbow in for 4, 3, 2. I want you to crunch it and open it up for 4, 3, 2. Nice. Find the breath in as you exhale. Let's twist it. 4, 3, 2. Turn it in. Feel it through that oblique. Open it up. 4, 3, 2. Excellent. We're going to take that left hip. We're going to lower it halfway down to your mat. Lift up and hold it. Take it halfway down. Lift up and hold it. This is where you can stay right here. You can also bring that foot right out in front of you. If you need more support, you can always bring that foot right out in front of you. If you feel stronger, stack your feet. So now the feet are stacked together. We're squeezing the thighs. Maybe you're going to stay right here. If you feel stronger, let that leg lift. Top leg is high. We got 8 little ones. Let's take it on the high end. 7. It gets a little higher on each one. 5. 4, a little slower. 3, 2. Come on into a forearm plank. Press up onto your palms. Chaturanga will lower down. Up dog on the inhale. Downward facing dog, we exhale. Right leg is going to get high. Sweep your right knee up to your right wrist. Bring your right ankle to your left wrist. And then sit up tall. So if your left knee doesn't feel good, you'll slide a block under it. We're going to walk the torso a little bit to your right, and we're just going to fold down into a half pigeon pose. So let your upper body drop. And again, you can walk your hands all the way out. You can bring one arm and then the other and drop your head onto your forearms. This is your feel good, let go pose. So bring yourself into that space. And I want you to turn your left hip in towards that right heel. Yeah, kind of exaggerate. If you can go into the deeper part of that left hip because we're nice and warm, let yourself do that. Now take your upper body straight out in front of you. So we were slightly to the right. Now walk it out in front of you. Maybe here's where you cross your arms, or maybe here's where you reach. And you're just going to let your pelvis drop down to the floor. And we'll come on into your down dog. Left leg is going to get high to the sky. We'll sweep your left knee up to your left wrist. Cross your right ankle over. Slide your right knee back. Stack your chest tall. Find the inhale. As you exhale, we'll go slightly to the left side. Yeah, we're turning that right hip down towards that left heel. And we're just chilling into the floor. And while you're here, it's nice to think about, how do I feel, right? Where can I let go a little more? Where can I bring a little something into something else? If the top of your right foot is not relaxed, release and uncurl your toes. A lot of times people stay up onto the ball of the feet. So let the top of that foot relax. Your toes will go a little bit to the left on this one. Walk your torso center. Find what is working for you right there. Let it go. Relax it down. We're going to stay on that left sit bone. We're going to lift the torso up, and we're going to bring that right leg around out in front of you. Yeah, and we're just going to sit up into a half or full lotus. So you'll take one foot and cross it. If your legs don't cross all the way where you can pick one foot up, who cares? you can just cross your legs where they go. Some people's knees are way up in the sky, right? Because you're still opening up in your hips. So if you're just starting in this practice, you know, I want you to always keep in mind that you're not going to look like anybody else. So find a place where you can be comfortable. And then we'll stretch the arms up to the sky. Let's breathe in. And as you exhale, we're going to turn to your left. We're going to bring your left fingertips behind your low back. And we're going to bring your right hand to catch your left leg. And we're just going to find the turn. And then as you square your chest center, reverse your lower body. Reverse your half lotus, if that's available. See if the other foot will come up for you here. And then we'll stretch the arms up to the sky. Find a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to turn it. Bring your right fingertips behind your low back and push so you can get a tall spine here. And then bend that elbow and twist it. And then we'll bring the torso back center. And we're just going to walk forward. Reach out. Extend long. See if you can keep your seat rooted. Use your fingertips to create. So your head's still lifted. We'll find a breath in. And then as you exhale, let yourself drop. So what I want you to do is let your chest come down. Let your head relax. Keep the reach on through your fingertips. So your forehead could be in the floor or not. It's totally up to you. We'll peel up through the fingertips. And we're going to stretch the arms up to the sky. And then bring your left fingertips in between your shoulder blades behind you. Let your right hand grab your left elbow and just pull back. I like to drop my chin down on this one so I know that my neck is relaxed. And you're pulling back through that arm. So use that right arm strength to really pull and create the length. And then we'll release the arms and switch the feet again. So bring that top foot. Bring the arms up to the sky. Bring your right fingertips in between your shoulder blades. Grab on with the left hand. Pull back. Arms reach up. Breathe in. As you exhale, we're going to fold forward again. So once the fingertips touch the floor, take your upper body to the left. Work your upper body over to the left side. So we're not dropping all the way down. We're just using the leverage to peel open through the right rib cage. You can smile here because yoga feels good. Let's go to the right side. Find that reach. Extend it out. Smile. We're breathing into it. And then we'll come back, center slow. And we're going to lie back into the floor. So unravel the legs. We're going to come all the way back on your mat with your arms overhead and your toes long. Just find it. Stretch out. Create a little space in your spine. And then hug your knees up into your chest. Grab those knees. Rock a little bit, side to side. Cross your right knee over your left. Keep your knees bent. Lift your upper body up and catch the edges of your feet. And then I want you to let your head relax back. Keep your feet up high and slide your left knee down by your right ankle. So if you can't catch your feet, you can always use a yoga strap around the edges of your feet there, or you can catch in, further in by your ankles. So if you can't catch your feet, you'll eventually work your way out there. But wherever you are, you're going to bend those elbows and you're going to pull. On the exhales, you're going to pull your feet back. So I find in this position, a lot of people have a hard time with their cervical spine, with their neck, where their head is all the way back. So it's always good to have a little towel. You can roll it up and slide it under your head so that you can feel that your neck feels like it's nice and straight. That's a really common thing that I see that could be corrected just by sliding a little something underneath there. Let's reverse the cross. So go ahead and take the left over the right. Go ahead and grab those feet, pull back, and we'll bring that left knee just as close to the, maybe all the way up your calf is as close as it's going to go, but maybe it'll slide down. So the closer you get into your ankle, the deeper the stretch inside that right glute. And on the exhales, we're pulling the feet back towards the shoulders. Close your eyes here and relax through your face. So where would you be able to just let go? Where you can release your teeth right now. If they're clenched together and you can feel that you're kind of bringing stress in there, let your face be completely relaxed. Relax through your eyebrows. Let your cheeks drop back. We're putting that energy in the arms. We're pulling back and feeling it in that right hip, in that right glute. Let's find happy baby. So we'll catch the feet, unravel, catch the inside or outer edges of your feet. You're trying to bring your heels back so they can stack on your knees somewhere, someday, somehow, maybe, maybe not. We're pulling the thighs outside of the rib cage. Again, there's no perfect pose. And I want you to start to shift your mind space. So right now, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to think about an opportunity to appreciate 3 things that you dig about yourself. Appreciation. 3 things that you like about how you show up in the world. We're going to straighten the legs in a wide straddle. Slide your hands behind your knees and bring your legs up. Yeah, and out nice and wide. And just pull the knees back into the warm hips. Toes are flexed. So you're thinking about 3 things that you appreciate about yourself. Point your toes and circle around through your ankles. So we'll just get rid of any air that we might have built up in there. Butterfly pose. The soles of the feet come together in the floor. The knees drop out to the side. Yeah, let your arms relax down alongside of you. We're still in thoughts of appreciation. Do you have your 3? Because I want you to relish in those tomorrow, those things that you really appreciate about yourself. It's so easy to forget the good things about you because we're busy and full of life for other people, responsibilities. And then let's open the legs up. So let your lower body open out. Right leg a little bit to the right or left, or where it feels good in your low back where you can let go through your spine. Let your shoulder blades drop back into the floor. And see if you can relax through the back of your knees, through your fingertips and your toes. See if you can relax through your chest right now. Let it drop down. See if you can let go of the weight of your head into the floor. So say a little movement of a no, head's turning side to side. And then let it just settle in where it feels the heaviest. Let it relax there. And find a big breath in. Let your chest rise all the way up to the sky. And here's a deep exhale. And on this exhale, this opportunity is for you to dedicate. So you can tap into your good karma, your good stuff that's inside of your heart. And you're going to send someone or a few someones out a well wish, a kind thought. An opportunity for you to connect with someone. Send up your good love. And then we're going to breathe in with your chest high to the sky, out of the mouth, a big exhale. As we relax and let it go, we're moving into our final opportunity right here. We're going to think of 3 things that you feel grateful for tonight. They could be really, really big, and they can be super, super small. 3 things that you feel grateful for. And each one that you think of, I'd love for you to take a moment and enjoy it. Enjoy that gratitude. What do you love about that? What do you feel grateful for about that? Why do you feel grateful for it? And if you have 5 minutes, 5 extra minutes for yourself, stay here on your mat. Give yourself the gift of enjoying only self-love, thoughts of self-love, dedication to others, or gratitude. So let that just kind of run through your head. And when another thought comes in, sweep it off the porch. So see yourself outside on the porch with your favorite kind of weather, with these beautiful colored leaves. Sweep that stuff off the porch. Come back into self-love, dedication, and gratitude. Give yourself 5 good minutes to be in that space, to enjoy. You guys are beautiful. Thank you so much for being here with me and giving me the opportunity to bring you into a different mind space. Namaste, everyone.